Welcome to the Love Holistic Living podcast, your roadmap to heal and align mind, body, and soul and become intuitive through food, pleasure, and spirituality with your host and Italian friend, Sara. Welcome back to another episode with Sara here, your Italian friend and spiritual guide. I am so excited to share with you the difference between transactional versus authentic relationships. Because honestly, and with a vulnerable note, I learned this the hard way about a year ago. And sometimes I wish that people or the school system or some form of awareness could be brought to us at an earlier age so that we don't have to live a life with trials and errors. Because I hope that this episode will save you years of trials and errors. Now, to give you a little bit of an update, I am still in Italy, but again, I'll be in New York working with a client, actually more than one client. I love New York. If you've never been there, it's a powerful city that has an European feeling. And I so love being there. It's so different than the West Coast, not just in landscape, but also in form of people. And I've met more Italians there than on the West Coast. That's pretty interesting, but I guess that's their reality. Anyway, we are going to be talking about the difference between transactional versus authentic relationships. You can apply this to any form of relationship. And what I mean by that is that you can apply this to a friendship. You can apply this to a loving connection with a spouse, partner, boyfriend, someone you're dating. Just if you have any kind of doubts, then this episode will help you. And or with a boss or a coworker. And the first thing I'm going to remind you is to always trust your body. So your intuition, which is your inner compass, will always guide you. And if you feel disconnected with your own intuition, just click the link below on how to master your intuition. It is a free masterclass. The link below and watch the free masterclass. Intuition is what has allowed me to speed up the process of healing, discernment of relationship, of what's good and what's bad, of trusting myself, because through the years, through trauma, through bad experiences, then you kind of get disconnected. And especially if you've ever had an eating disorder and or have fallen into the chronic dieting, which I have, then that totally disconnects you and you must reconnect. That's also what I do in the 1-1 program, is to teach someone to reconnect fully with themselves so that they can be the most magnetic and powerful version of themselves. But watch the free masterclass. Anyway, once you understand this, you will be so powerful. Let's start with the transactional relationships, which I have a feeling they are more common than the authentic one. The authentic one are pretty rare, and I thought it was the opposite. So I thought that I could find authentic relationships because I consider myself very genuine. I always try to help the other person and put myself last, or I used to. And then I got taken advantage of so many times. And if you feel this way too, and you have symptoms of chronic fatigue, exhaustion, and or your energy feeling super drained, then I would recommend to watch this till the end. Number one is the quid pro quo mentality, which is the expectation of reciprocity. What I mean by that is that there is an expectation, whether that's being said, communicated or not, of the other person, like of a reciprocated actions, behaviors, gifts, exchange of some sort. And the most dangerous relationships are the ones that don't communicate this, but you can feel it from an energetic standpoint. They remind you through passive aggressive communication that you own them something. They may make comments like, I've taken you to the airport. It's your time to make me dinner. Or, hey, I woke up at this time to prepare you lunch or make you breakfast. It's your time this time. And to me, when they do that, like I feel it in my stomach and I'm like, oh, you're keeping score. And once I understand that they keep scores on the relationship, then I start to understand that that's not authentic, because with the most authentic relationships that I have that are really genuine, we don't keep scores. Like I just give, but they give the same. There is that equal exchange, and you love them unconditionally, that you just don't keep score. So there is a underline of conditional giving that you must be aware of. And that can be a subtle feeling of my actions are and need to be reciprocated because they keep score or because they want to. And maybe you feel that too. And maybe you're the one keeping score. Just remember where you are. If it's not like a close relationship, like with a coworker, then maybe it is transactional. If it is someone you are collaborating with, you are a coach, an entrepreneur, an artist, or I don't know, a teacher, any kind of actually occupations can have this scenario, but you may be feeling like you have to remember because you can feel it. That's what I'm saying. Trust your gut, which is number 2, is the lack of emotional depth. And the most dangerous ones are the ones that feel or they pretend to be genuine. So they're like, I care about you. So they use their words, but their action don't match their words. So they keep telling you, oh, I love you, or I keep thinking about you, or I did this to you because I care about you, but you don't feel it in their actions, or you don't feel supported as much as you're supporting them. And the interaction between you two is somewhat on the surface level. I feel that you cannot go down deep. Sometimes you have the evidence that they cannot go down the depth of the communication style that you go into. So for example, and this may be a little bit intimate, but when I have deep, authentic relationships with my best friends and or with a lover, like I cannot have lack of emotional depth. Like I ask them everything. What are you doing this? What do you do for your self-care routine? What do you do for your skin? Like I have zero problems, zero issue on asking them the most awkward question because I'm an open book. Like I have zero shame. I've released all of that. So if we have to talk, especially between women, I'll tell you everything you want to know. And I do that with my girlfriends, but there is no shame, there is no guilt, there is no embarrassment. I love that we can go deep with one another. Those relationships that you stay up here. And you kind of understand there's that lack of emotional depth. The other sign is the emotional detachment. You can feel they're detached. Like it is noticeable that they do not participate in your feelings as much as you want them to. Maybe they do not have the ability to go deep down at the level that you feel, which tells you that they may not be empathic as much as you are. Or they are empathic, they just don't have that emotional depth because it's not about you, it's about them. They don't have it within themselves. Number 3 is they focus on the benefits. So they focus on what they can get out of the relationship. Now, the most interesting people won't tell you that that's what they want to gain out of the relationship, but you feel it. And again, I trust that you can feel all of what I am saying because we are energetic beings that communicate with energies. And these people that are transactional, they have a self-interest. So they're ego-based. And again, not all of these people are narcissists. Don't confuse that. Do not overuse the term narcissist because narcissists are a bit evil. And some people are not full narcissists. They might have narcissistic traits or they may have some traumas that they've never moved past them and they're speaking through their traumas. Now, what I mean the self-interest is that sometimes it's about what's convenient to them. It's about the commodity. It's about status. It's about, again, maybe it's financial status. So become aware of that because I've had people that took advantage of my knowledge, of my wisdom. And so even people said that they were friends and that they were studying me on how I connected with spirits. And a psychic can never read for herself. So don't be afraid if you can't read a relationship fully because it's really hard when you're emotionally involved with someone and you are genuine and you want to believe they're good. But I've had experiences where people were literally using me for my own gifts and they were not giving back the same amount of energy. Or they were using me because I'm good at cooking. And so they were auto inviting themselves for dinner, but they literally invited themselves for dinner without helping, and it's one thing that if I invite you for dinner, which I'm happy to do, I'm happy to host, I am willing to make a feast. That's my Italian side. But if you already ought to invite yourself, oh, I want to try your spaghetti and you don't even help, that to me is okay, you have a self-interest and that's okay. But understand this. You just have to become so aware. The number 4 is the inconsistent commitment, which it's there. You just have to stay grounded into reality that these people are not fully committed. They may just be about them. And again, it's inconsistent because it's when they need it, not when you need it. And the moment they feel like they don't need you anymore, they'll stop reaching out. And here is where you're going to have to make a choice of, do I stay stuck in this cycle or do I understand the lesson and move on? That is up to you to decide. Don't get attached to relationships that do not serve your greater purpose. Number 5 is the imbalance in the energy exchange or in effort. What I mean by that is that you can feel that the energy exchange is not reciprocated fully. You feel like you're giving more than what you're receiving, and yet sometimes when you confront your truth, they may gaslight you or they may say that it's not true and they will twist it. And understand that as well, because someone who is genuine will take that ownership. Like when I have arguments with my best friends and they tell me I feel not supported right now, or I tell them I don't feel supported here, we stay open to the feedback. And even though that might hurt and we may get triggered, we just acknowledge that. And then we say, you know what, that is your feelings, you're owning that. And maybe I have been not supported because I've gone through this. So we just take responsibility. If the other person is not taking responsibility and is gaslighting you, that's another deal. But you can feel that. So I want you to trust the feelings of this person is not giving the reciprocation. It's not giving the energy that I'm giving. The effort is not equal. Now, number 7 is the lack of support. So there is a minimal support that you're feeling. And again, they may say, I have given you my full support, yet They don't. They show up when they need support. And it's important for you to understand the minimal of support. If they just send you a text saying, I hope you're doing well, versus I'm calling you, you're going through something, or maybe they disappear when you're going through something. Like, understand what someone is doing for you. Like, if my best friend is having a hard time, I'm the first one driving there. Like, I might not be there all the time through text, but I'm the first one to get in the car, come over there, and cook for you and help you and get you to bed. Like, that is for me support. But understand when someone is just like over time, you're going to understand this over time, just at a minimal effort. So you get to decide, this is a transactional relationship. What do I want to do with that? And remember that, like, if you keep more people in the transactional relationships, then that's the loop that you live in. I had to make a choice at some point in my life because I realized I had more transactional relationships than authentic relationship, and that didn't agree with my alignment with where I wanted to be. And I was suffering through that because I remember I did not feel supported. I felt used. I felt like it was just an exchange of connection, business, networking, opinions, and that's not who I am. Like, I really want awesome, genuine relationship. I'd rather have 2 or 3 than 100. And I had to make a choice because I was like, if I want to manifest more of the genuine relationships that will truly support my life path, I have to let this one go. And it all happened all at once, so it was really hard. But the genuine relationship, the most authentic relationship, first of all, they're going to feel so genuine in the heart space. You're going to feel the emotional support. You're going to feel their generosity. It's a very warm feeling that's coming from the heart, and you're going to feel safe. So there's that emotional safety that you feel like you can relax, and that no matter what you're going through in life and what you're approaching them with, so something that maybe you're like, I fucked up over here and I did this, but you're telling your best friend, and your best friend or lover is genuinely supporting you without judging you. That is an authentic relationship. And the authentic relationship is the one that is going to show up not keeping score, is the one that's going to keep giving to you without the need for anything in return besides seeing you smile, besides seeing you happy, because they truly care about you. So for example, let's just say that someone is saying, hey, I want to help you with your business and don't pay me anything. But in reality, when they do the favor, they want something in return. They're going to ask you for that in return, right? Or they're going to ask you to do something for them because they did that. And I've had people that were like, I'll just give you that connection with that TV host. I don't want anything in return. I believe in you. Here we go. And that is a genuine connection. I have, had friends that were like, what do you need? What can I do? And they drove 45 hours to just see me or support me for just a short amount of time because that's all they had. So understand that those people exist. And let me know in the comments if you have met them or you desire them. If you want more of the genuine relationships. And in order to let go of the other connections, then you have to learn to let go. So watch the previous episode and don't forget to enroll in the mini course, only $47, on how to cut the soul tie so you can understand how to let go, move forward, and attract new people. It's all in there. I'm going to add the link below for you so that you can start your journey right now. It is so important for you to be able to cut the soul tie, release the emotional, spiritual connection with this people so that you can attract the genuine one. And again, emotional safety, reciprocity, genuine feelings that are being received, the lack of judgment, the physical, again, emotional, spiritual support, the presence, like I'm sending you energy, you feel them right there. And it's, again, trust your body. It's going to feel a very warm feeling right in your heart space. And you'll also feel, which is so important, not only seen for who you are, so at peace, but you feel recharged when you hang out. You don't need a social battery to hang out with these people. You feel these people don't take from you. They actually recharge you, or they may be in neutral zone. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments, do you have more transactional relationships and or authentic relationships in the comments? And don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video.